Write a simple invoice. The fun part in working is getting paid for it. When you have just finished working for someone and it is time to get paid, you must let the person know that you have accomplished the task. To be more formal about it, you would want to write down all the details and particulars of all the work you have done. If this is the case, you must make an invoice. This will give the payer a detailed summary of what is being paid for. As much as possible, it should reflect what was agreed upon or what is in the contract if there is any. Making your own invoice is quite easy. Just make sure that it is as detailed as possible. For tips and guidelines on how to do it, just read on below. Label the document as invoice. At the page's topmost part, type invoice. After this, you may type on the left side your full name or business name, company, or personal address, contact details such as email and phone numbers. Put in a reference number. Some experts recommend 4-digit reference numbers. If this is your first invoice, then use 0001. All your invoices must have different reference numbers because accounting departments will use each of your invoices for filing and payment reference. Include the creation date for the invoice. Near the reference number, preferably under, type in the date when the invoice is being made. There may also be cases wherein you would like to include the date the service or work was rendered and the billing time. From this date line, you may type in the buyer's address. Be sure to precede it with to. Start with the work details. Now, you will have to start listing all the work you have done. This is the part of your invoice that has to be detailed. If the buyer is paying for certain items, then list them down as well. Include the model and color. If you are being paid for your services, you may include the certain time you have spent in finishing the work. Make sure that there is a breakdown of services and items so that the buyer will have an idea of how the total cost came about. The gross amount must come after the breakdown. Below it, indicate the subtotal of the items sold and the services rendered. Lastly, put the grand total using a bold font. Estimate the payment time. Make a good estimation for the payment time. Add a note stating the date when the payment must be made. Usually, it should be 15 to 30 days upon your completion of the task. You may also indicate your preferred payment method. If the payment requires a mailing address, be sure to type it. You may want the payment to be deposited to a bank account or you may want it via PayPal. Just make sure that the buyer has an idea of your preferred payment scheme. Remember that some companies have their own payment processes. If so, you have to comply with their standard operating procedures. Print invoice. It is advisable for you to have a hard copy of your invoice even if you already have the soft copy. It will be easier to use it as reference. You may use Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel in making your invoices. If you have to make another one, especially for the same buyer, you may use your first invoice as a template. Just replace the breakdown of costs and reference number. Save it using another file name.